welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be talking about dysmenorrhea or painful period, right? So I know a lot of women suffer from this condition. Study shows that 3 in 4 women suffers from dysmenorrhea. Now even though it's common, that doesn't mean that we have to suffer through it all every month for our reproductive years. Right? So don't go anywhere. We're going to be discussing what causes it, and then in another video we'll discuss how to treat it. All right, ladies? So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to get right into the video. All right? So let's talk about why do we have menstrual pain or dysmenorrhea. Now, dysmenorrhea is caused by contractions of the uterine muscles that occurs during your menstrual cycle. Now, what this contraction does is try to expel that thick cushioning lining of the uterus that was there to prepare for pregnancy. If a pregnancy does not occur, then the lining of the womb is shed. And the contraction helps to expel and force this lining out of your uterus. Now, there's a hormone that is called prostaglandin. The hormone prostaglandin causes contractions of the uterine muscle and also the blood vessels of the uterus. The higher the level of prostaglandin, the more contractions you're going to be feeling, and also the intensity of the contractions will also increase. So in a nutshell, you're going to be having more painful periods. So that's one cause. Endometriosis is another cause for dysmenorrhea or painful periods. Now, endometriosis is when you can find endometrial tissues or endometrial-like tissues outside of the uterus. Now, there's no good information available as to why endometriosis causes painful period, but studies have shown that persons who do have endometriosis normally have a higher level of uterine contraction and thus more painful period. Now, your endometriosis, persons with endometriosis actually, they can have uterine tissues in areas like the lungs, the bladder, the ovaries, and even your brain. So if you have endometriosis, you may be having more painful periods. If you have heavy periods, it's almost a given that you're going to be having painful periods, because with heavy periods, your uterus is going to be working overtime to try to expel the contents of your uterus. Now, with more blood, that means you're going to be having more prostaglandins. And remember that once there's increase in prostaglandins, that means your contractions are going to be increased in number, increase in intensity. So you'll be having more painful periods. So if you suffer from heavy periods, that may be the cause for your painful period or your dysmenorrhea. If you have pelvic inflammatory disease, or PID for short, which is an infection or inflammation of the woman's reproductive organs, it is caused by a sexually transmitted infection, and so therefore you may have inflammation in the uterus or scar tissues from these infections. Now, if you have it, then your uterus is more susceptible to pain, and because of this susceptibility, you may be experiencing painful periods or even pain when you're having intercourse. So if you have PID, that may be a cause of why you suddenly start having painful periods, especially if you're a person who have never had painful periods before or dysmenorrhea. All right, guys, tell me you subscribed. You must have subscribed. All this watching of this video, please just click on the subscription button and also the notification bell and subscribe. Click all for the notification so that whenever I upload a new video, you're the first to know. I'm looking forward to your subscription, so don't disappoint, guys. Thank you. Uterine fibroids is another cause for painful periods. With uterine fibroids, you can have very minuscule or small uterine fibroids inside or outside of your uterus. Now, they range from very small to sometimes very large, where they actually distort the shape of your uterus. Now, if you have uterine fibroids, there's a high possibility that you're going to be having heavier periods than normal. And with heavier periods, you're going to be having more prostaglandin, which is going to cause you to have higher intensity contractions and more pain during your period. So if you suffer from fibroids, you are most likely going to have painful periods. If you suffer from structural problems, and structural problems like bicornuate uterus, where you have two separate uterus, or even two vagina, where your vagina is separated by a septum and you have two vaginal opening, it's possible for you to have painful periods because first, you're going to be having more contractions, and with more contractions and with the fibrous tissue that is there for it to be passed down through and some possible blockage, you may be having painful periods. So if you are having painful periods, please go to your care provider. You can go to your OBGYN and discuss the matter with your care provider. After discussing the matter, you'll be getting some tests to be done to see what is actually causing your painful period and to see how best it can be sorted out. Lastly, if you just recently inserted your copper IUD, the IUD that has the hormone in it doesn't cause as much pain as your copper IUD. So your copper IUD can be the cause for you to suddenly start having painful periods, right? For persons who have dysmenorrhea already, and for persons who have menorrhagia, which is heavy periods, we normally do not recommend they insert copper IUDs because they actually increase the length of your period and also the pain that you may experience during your period. So your copper IUD may also be the cause of you having painful periods. Whatever the cause may be for your dysmenorrhea, there's always something that you can do to help to relieve, reduce, or stop the pain altogether. Whether it's a structural problem or heavy periods, you developed fibroid at some point in your life, there's always a treatment for it. Almost always, let's say, because there's some conditions you just can't get around, but there are always medications that you can take to help reduce the pain that you're feeling. So please ensure that you go to your OBGYN, and in the meantime, I'll be coming back with another video to explain to you what can be done if you are suffering from painful periods. And before you go, please remember to subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload a new video, you can be informed and you can get all the information that I can give. Now, don't be afraid to share this video with your friends and family and encourage them to subscribe to my channel too. Your subscription, your like, and your comment can do a great deal in making my channel grow. And thank you to my subscribers, and I hope I got new subscribers today. Have a wonderful day, everyone.